Hi, everyone. Transcripts from secret sidebar hearings during Larry Milliete's preliminary hearing were made public after the hearing on their website after CBS 8 obtained these records. So, CBS 8 objected in court that the public was being excluded by keeping these sidebars secret. So, in order to make my series more complete here, I will be dropping in the sidebars as we progress. Thanks again to CBS 8 for doing all of this. Please support your local news stations and CBS 8 if you're following Maya Millete. So, the first sidebar conference was from day 2 of the hearing, that was January 12th. And it dealt with blood found in Maya Milliete's master bathroom. And that was a surprise to me, so I'm glad that these transcripts have been released. The blood evidence came out during cross-examination by the defense of Garber, and he was the forensic specialist. The question was, did you see any evidence of blood spatter inside the house? From defense attorney Bonita Martinez. And he said yes. David Garber responded yes, which surprised everyone. So at that point, you may recall there was a secret sidebar conference with the two attorneys. And the transcript has been released, and I'm going to read it. Starting with Mrs. Bowles, who is Christy Bowles, the deputy district attorney, who is the prosecuting attorney in this case. So starting with Mrs. Bowles. Your Honor, I just wanted to go sidebar to clarify some things. I didn't want to do this as a speaking objection. However, there was a blood collection in the bathroom. The blood was tested. It was not Maya Millete's blood. There is no blood evidence that I am presenting as part of my preliminary hearing evidence. So my position is this is just sort of a discovery expedition on the part of the defense. And this is why it is beyond the scope. I am also, I don't want to leave some kind of implication. I will try to clean some things up on redirect and have a detective testify about the actual seizure. This person is just a collector and documenter of the evidence and has been asked about blood in the bathroom. And again, I think the implication has been left that is somehow probative of Mr. Milliete's guilt. However, it was tested by the sheriff's department, and it is, although it is female blood, it is not Miss Milliete's blood. So again, not part of my evidence. And so that is why my objection to this whole line of question is beyond the scope. Miss Martinez, Your Honor, during her direct examination, she had this witness testify about his opinion about the makeup that was there in the bathroom, asked him about whether Maya Millete could have taken part or some of this makeup. She also asked this witness about the clothing in the bedroom and his opinion about whether Miss Millete took the clothes. Judge Mooring, what does that have to do with the blood? Miss Martinez, I want to make sure it was negative blood the counsel is claiming. Judge Mooring, counsel, you opened the door to that issue. She did not say anything. She did not elicit testimony about blood evidence. And you opened the door. And now you are attempting to ask additional questions in that regard. I am going to sustain the objection. Now you have opened up the issues, and so Ms. Bowles has to clean it up, I think, with a different witness. Ms. Bowles, I am going to clarify that he is not the person who submits it for testing, that it is the detective, just so that is clear. And I have a couple of additional photographs to show him. But yeah, other than that, I will not get into this whole discussion about swabs or the DNA. Judge Morig again sustained the objection and instructed Ms. Martinez to move on. So that ends the transcript, that ends the sidebar. So just to be clear, I was a little shocked too when I heard that testimony about the blood. It was puzzling. And I do recall Christy Bowles clarifying with the witness, David Garber, that he was not actually, he was the person who basically collected the evidence. He was not actually responsible for examining and that type of thing. So it was kind of odd. I thought it was also odd that she would bring up blood evidence because it only makes Larry Millete look like he was guilty of something. So I thought it was puzzling. I'm wondering what you thought, but that is the first transcript that I am dropping in as part of this series. I hope you find it helpful. And with that, we'll see you tomorrow.